Top 10 Hated Anime Characters. Some of these characters break the limits of their own series, being adored or despised by all anime fans, regardless of whether they have watched the relevant series. While popular anime characters can experience this, it often only happens to those who are utterly disliked. Many of the most despised characters have transcended the boundaries of being only recognized by a fanbase to become memes for the general public. From least to most despised, here are the top 10 anime characters of all time. Sakura, number 10. Sakura from Naruto tops the list and is a really intriguing example. Despite being a somewhat significant act, Sakura only does one really reprehensible act throughout the entire story. But a lot of people's distaste for Sakura comes from how useless they perceive her to be for the rest of the series. Fans have every cause to hate her after she made comments about being equal to Sasuke and Naruto in the series' climactic moments. Malty MelromarcMalty shown in Rising of the Shield Hero. Number 9. The Shield's Ascent. One of the most notoriously despised characters from a new gen anime series is Malty MelromarcMalty from Hero. She said that Naofumi Iwatani, the main character, was inappropriately sexy with her and coerced her into doing things against her will. As a result, Naofumi effectively loses his respect and dignity as the Shield hero, which makes life more difficult for him throughout Season 1 until his name is cleared. Malty has drawn the ire of fans for her egotistical demeanor and for this. Number 8. One Piece character Foxy. Foxy from One Piece is a unique situation since, unlike many others on this list, he is not morally repugnant or even unsuitable. Instead, Foxy has the distinction of serving as the primary adversary for what many fans would consider to be the worst arc in all of One Piece, and such a connection is never advantageous to your reputation. Foxy's supporters have referred to him in a variety of ways, from obnoxious to useless, and they frequently make sincere complaints while also criticizing his behavior and use of his devil fruit abilities. He's without a doubt one of the all-time most despised anime characters. Number 7. Griffith from the Berserk Gold Age arc films. Griffith from Berserk is a morally reprehensible villain. It must be emphasized that Griffith practically sacrifices everyone he's ever known for power, without giving too much away in light of the recent declaration that the late Kentaro Miura's work will be resumed. He has done other things that have angered viewers and fans of anime in addition to this, but his self-sacrificing ways are the main cause of this animosity. He is without a doubt one of the most hated characters in anime because of his treachery, which is among its most startling and iconic. Minoru Mineta, number 6. My Hero Academia's Minoru Mineta is renowned for his obsession with all things sexual, particularly when it comes to ladies. He constantly creeps out his coworkers and fans of the show by going too far beyond typical adolescent behavior. He doesn't do much more than this to infuriate others, although this is mostly due to the denigration of his character as just the S*X child. Mineta is certainly one of the most despised characters in the category, which is a sad byproduct of author Kohei Horikoshi's work. Number 5. The character Spandam from One Piece. Spandam from One Piece appears in the top 5 most despised anime characters of all time, making it one of only 2 series on this list with 2 representations. Fans of the series quickly dislike the megalomaniac who is fixated on achieving his goals since he is morally repugnant. However, it is his treatment of Nico Robin, who he brutally abuses both physically and emotionally, that has brought him the notoriety connected with this persona. In the end, he gets what's coming to him, but that doesn't really make the fans' animosity for him disappear. Number 4. Rachel from the anime series Tower of God. Both fans of the series and anime fans in general have a humorous hatred for Rachel from Tower of God. Her primary purpose for ascending the tower's lowest floor is simply to fulfill her desire to betray and kill Bomb, which she believes she does in the closing episodes of the show. She was able to carry out her plans and was brought back to safety, and she giggled to herself in her chamber as she basked in her achievement. She now ranks among the most despised personalities as a result of this incident. Her continued villainy only gets worse. Number 3. Donzo Shimura. The second character from the series on this list is Donzo Shimura from Naruto, and he is unquestionably worthy of taking the top slot. He has basically been shown to be the one who forced the Hidden Leaf Village to make the decisions that resulted in the ultimatum and the killing of the Uchiha clan. Not only that, but it was later determined that he had about a dozen Sharingan implanted throughout his body and had ordered the carnage for personal benefit. He is an easily despised character with no redeeming features, and almost everyone in anime despises him. Gabi Braun. Number 2. Gabi Braun from the anime series Attack on Titan. The fastest heel turn in history was made by Gabi Braun in her Attack on Titan debut from last season, after Sasha died, for which Gabi was solely accountable as she was the one who fired the gun. The public detested her right away. Fans continued to despise her vehemently and refused to feel any pity for her even after her character arc was over, and she was partly redeemable. Even among people who have only watched a few episodes, she is one of the most hated anime characters. Number 1. Shou Tucker. Shou Tucker from the anime series Fullmetal Alchemist. Last but not least, Shou Tucker from Fullmetal Alchemist is a character that no fans of the show have ever had anything positive to say about. In the first episodes of the series, he was portrayed as a struggling alchemist with a focus on biological transmutation. Fans were aware that he was a widower who is now raising his daughter by himself. However, it was later discovered that he also murdered his daughter Nina, his pet dog Alex, and his wife by transforming her into a chimera. One of the most horrifying and upsetting moments in all of anime is this one particular instance. Everyone who has watched the series and is a fan hates this character. Thank you for watching. We are new here. Do subscribe to us for more content. It helps us to create more video like this for you. If you came this much, please like and subscribe to our channel.